Here's the production model of our ESP32 Robot Servo board. It has a nice full colour TFT LCD screen on the front, some user buttons. The red one's a reset button. If you press that, it resets. On the back of it we have our Robot ESP32. It has the extended 4 megabytes of flash and another extended 4 megabytes of RAM, of the PS RAM. We also do have a little SD card there. If you're using MicroPython, it's not overly needed for the SD card. It's generally, most people just use an FTP server to drop any files they need on the internal file system that MicroPython has. But for anyone who's using Arduino or anything like that, it generally doesn't have an internal file system. So most people, their pictures and their videos and stuff they want to put on the screen, they'll generally drop onto an SD card and access it from that. Of course, the main features of it is designed to drive servos. It does have a PCA 9685 chip on it, which will generate the signals for 16 servos. So you can plug 16 servos into it. It'll have no overheads on the ESP32. It's just an IC squared driver, and that maintains all the signals. The biggest feature of this board is the fact that it comes with a 10 amp buck converter. It will take an input voltage anywhere between 6 volts to 14 volts, and it will output voltage anywhere between 4 volts to 6 volts, just depending where you actually adjust that little trim pot to just there. It will adjust the output up and down. And the biggest thing for that is all these hobby servos all run between 4 volts and 6 volts. If you get any lower than 4 volts or even down around 4 volts, they don't run very well. You get ranging problems. If you run them up at 6 or over 6 at all, they burn out very, very fast. All the new lithium ion batteries are either 3.7 volts, which is too low, or if you use a 2-cell, it's 7.4 volts and too high. So this allows you to use a nice 2-cell or 3-cell lithium ion battery, and you'll be able to run all these servos off it. It also has, as well as the switching, the 10 amp switching converter there. On top of that, there's another 1 amp linear regulator in order to run all your circuitry around here and any sensors and stuff you want to plug into it. It has also all your pins here broken out if you want to plug any other sensors or any other peripherals onto it, on top of the SD card, on top of the driver for all the servos. It does have built into it a little USB to serial chip, so you can just plug your USB cable in it and away you go. She's ready to program and talk to. Of course, being ESP32, it's full Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled, dual core 240 megahertz processor on it, powerful little baby. So we're ready to rock and roll for all your robot needs.